and at first initially there was a death toll of 5, but it rose to 11. But this is like the first of many shipwrecks that are going on, and it's not really getting talked about as much as it should be, especially like in light of, after the submarine crashed, in the Titanic. I feel like this should also definitely get just as much light, because it is, I mean, a lot more light in the grand scheme of things. Like, if we set money aside, I mean, let me try to find where it says, more than 1,800 people have died attempting to cross from North Africa to Europe this year, which, that's just this year, which is 900 more than last year. So that means 900 died last year from that too. But it doubled because people are making makeshift boats in North Africa trying to cross to Europe. And it's dangerous, right? But no one's really doing any preventative or crisis control in this. It's just, and it's not getting much media coverage outside of like Al Jazeera, which does a lot of good coverage involving the Middle East. But as far as like Western media sources, like, it's not really talking about this. Is the central Mediterranean crossing from North Africa to Europe is the world's deadliest, with more than 20,000 fatalities since 2014. So more than South America, because I know it gets a lot of trope for fatalities on boats there, right? You have the Bermuda Triangle and everything. But no, the Bermuda Triangle might as well just be in between North Africa and Europe. So many people are dying there every year. It's very underreported. And there should be crisis control, because, I mean, why are people in the first place so dire to leave North Africa? What's going on, right? Which I'm not going to speak on. It sounds like they're coming from Tunisia. I don't really know about what's going on in Tunisia right now, or that part of North Africa. But what's going on there, right? So you can do crisis control. And then how can we help the refugees get to a safer place in a safer way, so they're not dying at such a massive number? I mean, these statistics have been rolling in. I mean, here it mentions all the way back to 2014. So it's been an ongoing problem that really isn't, nobody's doing anything about it. The EU, any like humanitarian organizations, like nothing's really being done about it, because the numbers are increasing or doubling year to year. And it's a big problem. I mean, nearly 90,000 refugees and migrants have lived in Italy so far this year. So these are all people that are hopping over from, I mean, this isn't really mentioned exactly where. This is probably just an overall statement, but I'd say majority of them are coming from North Africa, from Tunisia. The crossing attempts multiplied in March to April after a speech by Tunisian President Kais Saied, who alleged the hordes of sub-Saharan Africans were causing crime and posing a demographic threat to the mainly Arab countries. Xenophobic attacks targeting Black African refugee migrants and students have increased across the country since Said's February remarks, and many have lost jobs and housing. So it just sounds like Tunisia is just becoming a very xenophobic state, a very racist, anti-black state. And it's subjugating sub-Saharan Africans, like Nigerian stowaways. 4 Nigerians survived 14-day journey on ships rudder to Brazil. Had to drink seawater after running out of food for 10 days.
So dangerous.
They were just starving.
In my
drinking
life,
seawater.
I will never try that again.
That's insane. So I didn't even know where they were, but they made it.
And then, all of a sudden, I found myself here in Brazil at Espírito Santos, Victoria.
It started on the 27th. So so about a month.
So I live by the highlands. I looked, there are foreign vessels coming. So I decided if I have an opportunity to enter a vessel, I don't care to know where they are taking me
No choice but to leave Nigeria. So
If
shit's going
something
down
is
in
not working for
Nigeria
you, you
too.
have to leave. It's not working for me. The economy is not working for me. Everything is not working for me. And before I came here, I was homeless. No home, For
Hmm.
my family, my wife is staying in another place where I am staying, my children. So I have to make up my mind.
Shit. Like the decisions like that these people have to make compared to like in our Western setting especially, it's like yeah, we have to deal with a lot of difficult situations and it's not fair to compare, but let's compare a little bit. Because I mean, like this man, he has to compare between living between multiple different countries from his family, and then the way he does that is by voyaging on the bottoms of ships, voyaging without food for 10 days. I mean, this is like movies that we watch, but people are living in movies, but it's just a struggle. I mean, no one should have to live this way. It should definitely be reported more. Two of the men have since been returned to Nigeria upon their request, so they literally made it all that way, starved on that boat, had to choose, like, make the most difficult decision of their life possibly, and then they just get deported right away. Like, they're refugees, they're refugees, and you're deporting them. I mean, that's not a very unheard thing. The United States loves to do that, especially to Muslims, but I mean, these are people with nowhere to go. It's either homelessness or, I mean, literally nothing else. Or you can go to Tunisia and then live in an extremely xenophobic state, what it sounds like. So bad that people are making makeshift boats and crossing over to Europe. And if you make it to Europe, get ready, because if you're a person of if you're a non-white person in Europe, like, get ready for a lot of subjugation there and more xenophobic remarks, unless you're lucky enough to end up in like Ireland or Scotland where they're a bit more progressive. So they had to go back to Nigeria and then apply for asylum in Brazil. And then figure out how they're going to get back again. But it looks like they made it, right? That looks like Brazil. I don't know. It's just crazy. We think about it. It's like, I think my struggles are hard too. And then, and in the grand scheme of things, I mean, there are people out here that have to conquer feats that I would never imagine even putting myself into. Like action movies, right? Just to survive.